How are you feeling? You got John Riggs here live in beautiful Seaside, Oregon. Enjoying some fun with the kids. You think of beach, and maybe you've never been to the ocean. You think of like Hawaii, Southern California, warm weather, sunshine, ladies in bikinis, all stretched out on the sand. The beaches in Washington and Oregon, not like that so much. Cold, windy, raining most of the time, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's what I grew up with. I was thinking about some of the fun Nintendo games we've had in the past as well. Some of the fun Nintendo games that have had a beachside theme. It doesn't have to be the entire game. It just means a cutscene, a stage, an instance, a something anyway. I'm gonna give you my top 5 favorite Nintendo games that have something to do with the beach somewhere in the game. And that list is as follows. Now, if we're talking about beaches, we gotta start off with the obvious. Star Tropics, naturally. This game kind of has you going from beach to beach, in a way, at least for the first, few islands or so. You go and then you have to, solve the conflict, whatever the case may be. You're looking for your uncle, or whatever. This game has so much going on for itself. It's one of those games that, man, old school gamers like myself who really loved this game, this is the one that we've been crying on Twitter for the past several years, saying, please, where's my sequel? We have Star Tropics, we also have Star Tropics 2, both on the NES. And that's it. And we haven't seen hide nor hair of anything since then. Now, I prefer action-based games over turn-based games, but this still has that kind of same look of an RPG, especially when you're in these towns and everything, talking to people. I love the fact that the characters look typical. I mean, they're just looks like, some dude. It's not really a look that we saw a lot in games, especially back in the day. Usually fantasy, super buff. Here's something I can relate with right here. So much fun to be had with Star Tropics. Again, a game that I still love today. And if we're talking about games with beaches, you gotta talk about Star Tropics. We got TNC Surf Design. Have to talk about this game because, well, I mean, it takes place at the beach, naturally. And when this game came out, skating was such a huge phenomenon. When I say skating, I mean skateboarding. With your Bones Brigade and your Pal Peralta, stuff like that, Tony Hawk was just a kid back in those days. And this game features 2 modes. There's skateboarding and there's surfing. Most, I would say, liked this game for the skateboarding. Now, it's not proper skateboarding. I mean, even his stance and everything. But it was still, better than nothing, I suppose. And it's still pretty fun. It's still pretty fun, especially for an LJN game. But the surfing, for some reason, I gravitated towards more, even though I wasn't good at skating and I've never even tried surfing. I don't know, maybe the surfing provided a little bit more of a challenge, but you just had to kind of out-surf the tube coming your way. You can gain points by, going inside a little bit or, hitting the lip of the surf, of the wave here. It's been a lot of years back in the day playing TNC Surf Design. Takes place at the beach. It's worth mentioning for sure. Well, I mean, there's Hudson's Adventure Island. We'll talk about the first one, at least in this one, but I guess all of them would count. That Mario-style game, that cartoony, platformy game was super in during this time, especially with the height of Super Mario Brothers. So Hudson's Adventure Island was the one that a lot of people gravitated towards because it was kind of familiar, but still kind of new too. The graphics maybe a little bit more cartoony. I liked them anyway. Your meter keeps going down, so you have to keep collecting fruit to keep it back up. You start out with no weapons at all, and you can't even jump on their heads to destroy them. However, you can pick up weapons pretty immediately. And those weapons can upgrade too along the way too, which is nice. The second stage in particular is a little bit more beach-like when it comes to this game. So Hudson's Adventure Island, absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love it. Takes place at the beach? No, what more do you need to know? Not just because it has beach in the title, gotta talk about Kings of the Beach. It's a volleyball game. Though this game takes advantage of 4 players simultaneous, I had a lot of fun even just on a 1-player. It's always 2-player matchups. And it's all about that bump, set, spike. So you have to work in tandem and teamwork. So once you hit the ball, then the other person has to hit it too. One of you bump it, the other one sets it up in place, and the other one, you can also bump it back into the opponent's area. But if you can get that spike, so the ball just really pounds down and they miss it or something like that, that's super awesome. That's the way to go. It's a game I played through several times, super fun. I'm a big fan of Kings of the Beach. I mean, it's volleyball. It's video volleyball. There's not a lot to talk about beyond that, but it's super fun, and hey, you know what? It takes place at the beach. It's Kings of the Beach, of course. I know I'm back at home now, but there's one more game I want to talk about that deals with the beach, kind of, and you'll see what that is. Right after this, our special guest is our good friend Riff from Pixel Game Squad.
Why do surfers eat cold food? Because they hate microwaves. John asked me what my favorite video game was that involved a beach theme or a beach in general, and the first game that came to mind, no questions, was TMNT 3, The Manhattan Project. The game starts with the Ninja Turtles chilling on the beach enjoying their vacation. And they're also watching TV on the beach because that's normal. And while they're watching TV, Shredder appears on screen and steals April O'Neil and all of Manhattan Beach. The Turtles must come and get it if they want to save April O'Neil and apparently the entire beach. And right there, just like that, we are thrown into one of my favorite levels, especially opening levels on the Nintendo. Take note, this is not the only beach theme level in the game, but this is the best one in my honest opinion. The level is fun with plenty of bright music and plenty of Foot Clan to battle. I adore the fact that they use actual beach elements here, like the Foot Clan hiding in the sand then popping out to attack you. Another element I like from the level is that the beach signs on the pier fall down and hit you when you walk by them. I'm not sure if the developers meant to do this or not, but if you've ever been to a pier before, usually everything is weathered, obviously with the weather and the salt in the air, old wood, things are falling apart, things are rickety, things are muggy, things are wet. So yeah, things fall apart. So the signs falling down kind of felt right. But I wouldn't say the random holes in the ground are too accurate. I mean, depending maybe where you're from, sure, maybe some fall apart to that extent. And at the end of the level, as you would expect, you take out Rocksteady in all of his classic fighting formation. Okay, I was gonna stop here, but I'm gonna mention the second level real briefly. This level, once again, just like the last level, starts off with some brilliant, fun-feeling vibes and fun-feeling sounds, fun-feeling music, thanks to the amazing Kozo Nakamura. In this level, you spend almost the entire level hanging out on a surfboard, which I was never really sure if these surfboards just kept going or if they were actually rocket powered. I never really understood. I think in the game they might be rocket powered, even though that's not how surfing works. Okay, sometimes, but not back then. And you beat up all your enemies as they come to you. No need to hold right or left or do anything, you just go. The remainder of the level puts you on top of what seems to be a submarine. Fight your way to another end boss and continue your way to the ever 90s swing-inducing April O'Neil. The rest of the game is not really too beachy at all, but these first two levels really set a nice tone for that summer beach and surf vibe. Yes, I myself have been born and raised literally about 5 minutes from the beach, and trust me, this game does a great job setting some of these feels right in place. Overall, TMNT 3 may be one of the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games in the whole mix. Maybe even one of the best games on the NES as a whole. And before I go, I'll leave you with a very important fun fact. On my wedding day, this is a true story, I was surfing right before my wedding. I lost track of time and I showed up to my wedding with just a little bit of time left. I had to towel change in the parking lot, didn't wear socks, didn't wear underwear, my hair was a mess, I still had salt water all over my eyebrows, and yeah, been married about 15 years. That's true love.
The final game I wanted to mention is Clash at Demon Head. I'm a huge fan of this game, Clash at Demon Head. I think it's super cool, very anime-like. The entire opening cinematic, the cutscenes and everything, takes place at the beach. You see the crabs walking by, you're chilling, you're sleeping directly in the sand, by the way. It took me years later to realize, oh, the way that these images are popping up is very Japanese-style manga, where it goes from right to left. But then after the opening cinematic, that's when you start playing the game. Super fun game, but hey, the opening takes place at the beach, worth mentioning, Clash at Demon Head. Well, as the sun sets on this video here at Seaside, a bunch of clouds came in at the last second. We're actually going to see a sunset today. Then clouds came in, and we didn't see anything. But check out the other videos in the meantime. We'll do another video very soon, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much.